Still possible in the playoffs. Still possible in the playoffs.
Right.
Gotta get that ring in the playoffs. Still possible in the playoffs. Still possible. The Boston Celtics still possible. Banner 18. These are all dogs.
Playoffs beat the heat, you gotta know. Let's go Celtics, let's go. Come on, the fucking Celtics, let's go.
Welcome to Still Possible! We are here live in the Boston Gardens, and the Celtics have just won Banner 18. They are the 2024 NBA champions, 4-1. The thing that they've been going for all season, the best team in the NBA, the best net rating, the best record, 81-20 for the entire year. They are NBA champions. I am Sam Jam Packard, joined by the McMahon, calling Mick from Maine. He stayed on his couch. The Celtics won a championship. McMahon, how the fuck are you doing tonight?
Relieved. Fucking relieved, Jam. I couldn't enjoy, and I'm sure a lot of people were like this whole season, game one through last fucking game. It was like this was the only game that mattered, and that's a horrible way to enjoy a season. I can't wait for this goddamn documentary so I can relive every second of it. I'm buying one of those Samsung frame TVs. I'm getting it permanently installed. It'll be a load-bearing frame in my home. It will play that documentary on a fucking loop. The rest of my life, that's all I'm going to watch. Shout out to Wick Grousbeck. Shout out to everyone involved in this for calling their shot. They put their dicks on the goddamn table before a single game was played. They said, we need every second of this shit on tape because it's going to be fucking biblical. And that's exactly what it was.
They have not one documentary. They have a Netflix. They have an HBO. They're following around Jason Tatum because they knew things were going to happen. Shout out to Brad Stevens for putting his dick on the table and trading away Marcus Smart to get Kristaps Porzingis in here, Drew Holiday in here, and put the best team on the floor in the NBA. The strength of the team is the team. Derek White said that all along. They just played phenomenal basketball throughout the entire year. A minor blip in Game 4. A minor blip. Who cares we lost by 38? Because they came out here and just absolutely dominated the first half, built this 20-point lead. It didn't matter that we were dog shit in the third quarter. It didn't matter that we missed layup after layup after layup because we had built this 20-point lead. And you know what? You know who didn't do anything? Kyrie fucking Irving. You know who did anything? Luka Doncic. I kind of did some stuff late, but that doesn't matter.
He was stat padding. I respect Luka for how he went out. He went out like a man. Kyrie fled the scene. You would have thought he was getting chased by a pack of rabid dogs the way he went. Luka dapped everyone up after the final whistle. There was time on the clock. It was still a winnable game. Jaden Hardy thought that was a winnable game. He was trying to win.
Oh, he went for the dunk like a bold move from Jaden Hardy. I kind of respect it. But Jason Tatum in this game was phenomenal. He had 31, 11, and 8. He just played a phenomenal first half, especially distributing the basketball. And I was actually thought he was going to get finals MVP. That's how good he was in this game. It went to Jalen. Obviously, I think they're both equally deserving. And I just thought it was a very cool moment when they awarded the trophy. Jalen immediately shouts out Jason Tatum. You can tell how much of these two guys. Who's breaking up the Jays now, Coley? They're two guys who love each other, love playing basketball together, and they've delivered Banner 18 to Boston.
I can't imagine being a champion with the Boston Celtics, being a guy who people point to as would have been a reason they would have won again in 2010, and becoming a bigger villain in this city than Kendrick fucking Perkins.
Oh, man.
What a moron, dude. Not only did he push that break up the Jays shit nationally, he also this season went after Joe Mazzulla, called him a bird brain. Didn't even give him the respect.
He said he would fly. Said he would fly backwards if you put a bird brain in his brain. That doesn't make sense, Kendrick Perkins.
No, and now like you're done. You're out. You're not on this side ever again. I never want to hear it. Perk, you're fucking cooked in this town.
Shout out to Joe Mazzulla, man. That guy is a basketball genius. I think he's a life genius. I think he approaches, and he has gotten this team ready, thrown into just a wild circumstances last year, still managed to coach his team up, and came in this year, and he knew exactly what he needed to improve on, and he growth mindset, Kaizen, shout out to Brad Stevens as well. I already gave him a shout out, but he deserves another one. But Joe Mazzulla came in and preached getting better every single day, preached living in the uncomfortable moments, and I just thought he's been fantastic for this entire season, but especially in the postseason, except for maybe that 3-minute stretch when they went small in the second quarter and they got absolutely just ran off the court and gave up a 9-point run. That wasn't good, but the totality of the circumstances, Joe Mazzulla, I think he's been fantastic. He's crazy, Joe. He will fight you. He wants everything to be uncomfortable, and I fucking love him for it.
Joe Mazzulla caught a lot of shit immediately. He got thrust into an impossible situation. Yes, the Celtics were in the finals the year before he got the job. He got that job 10 days before the season started because Ime Udoka can't keep his dick in his pants. He also then proceeded to lose, or he already lost Will Hardy. He then lost Mighty Mouse, Damon Stoudemire, to college. He lost another assistant. Came into this year, he picked up, who the fuck did he pick up, Jam Packard? He picked up Jeff Van Gundy. He picked up two-time Celtics champion, Sam Cassell. What a bench. What a move. Shout out Charles Lee. Best of luck in Charlotte. When that doesn't work out, not because it's your fault, but because it's Charlotte and they're the Hornets. No offense to Jam Packard's close personal friend on that staff.
Well, he got rid of him, so no shout out to him.
Yeah, when that doesn't work out, I welcome you back with open arms. This was everything. Everything was perfect. Joe Mazzulla stuck by his, like, it would have been so easy to change his entire philosophy. Everyone nationally was on this guy. People said every series he walked into that he was the heavy underdog in the coaching department, that he was going to get coached off the floor. Didn't happen fucking once this entire run. Shout out Joe Mazzulla.
Shout out Joe Mazzulla. Shout out the GM of the Milwaukee Bucks for just handing the Boston Celtics Drew Holiday on a plate. He just led the scoring early on, has been tough as nails defensively for the entire season. That's a wild thing to get just the first day before training camp starts, just to be able to have Drew Holiday on the team. He was the fifth option all of year, just like sacrificing shots and just being locked in on the defensive end. He's just been phenomenal. I don't even know how many points he finished with tonight. 15 points. Coley showing the Holiday jersey. I just think he was steadying force throughout this entire finals, and they don't get here without him. He's just been phenomenal.
They needed someone who had climbed the mountain before, a Sherpa, if you will. They needed someone to show them how to get to the top of the mountain, and he did that. He was awesome tonight. He broke the seal immediately. He was putting pressure on the rim. The Mavs went to the worst zone defense I've ever seen. Drew broke it repeatedly. It took the Jays a little bit to settle in, finding their shot and finding out how to attack, and that's where Drew really stepped up. Al hit a big three early. That was kind of it. That was kind of the game winner. Al hit that three to make it 9-2.
They went 9-2, yeah.
It was over. It was over right then and there. So yeah, that was awesome to see. Drew was tremendous. Him shouting out the fans, like, he gets it. He understands Boston in a way Kyrie's still trying to figure out.
No, it's a cult. Welcome to the cult, Kyrie. This is what happens when the cult gets some success. What a ridiculous thing to say. Yeah, there's a reason. You tried to join the cult. You said you would be up in the rafters and we'd be the reason. And then, all of a sudden people get upset when you then abandon your team midway through the season in March to go into free agency. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. Kyrie, awful in the 3 games in Boston. Seemingly cannot perform despite the sage. You don't stomp on Lucky. Shout out to the guy from Locked On Mavericks who stomped on Lucky and then deleted that tweet. That's why I don't fuck with the leprechaun.
0-8, his last 8 games in Boston. Just what an asshole. He sprinted to his phone to tweet, keep your head up, we'll be better. No, you won't. You won't. You were awful. Why would anyone ever believe you're going to come back here? You were the absolute worst player in this series, like by a lot. By a lot. I tweeted, Stats Muse had his finals. And shout out that Kyrie Mavs account. That fucking sucks.
Absolutely, that guy's an insane person. I'm gonna hate. I'm gonna
how are
hate
they
scroll
gonna
his timeline.
fuck Derek Lively too? While I'm at it, Derek Lively in the middle of last game takes the microphone. Yeah, the Mavs won by 100. What do you fucking do? Hang the banner. He said
They figured it
cracked
out.
The code. They cracked the code. The Celtics have no counter. It's a stark reminder that all 20-year-olds are fucking idiots and don't know how the world works. Never listen to 20-year-olds.
You know who you should listen to? Our elders. And was there a better moment on the podium than just the smile on Al Horford's face? He was the guy who sacrificed all year. He's been 17 years in the league, most playoff games without a title, and he stepped up with KP getting hurt, knocked down some big threes, got some huge offensive rebounds, took it to Daniel Gafford in the post. Not really his game anymore, but he's just been huge this entire season, and I'm the happiest for him. He's just been a consummate professional, the guy with all of the juice, the guy who's like, when the Celtics needed some fucking effort in the Cavs series, he's diving out of bounds, he's flexing, he's making big plays, and he's just been, I think, my favorite Celtics player for as long as he's been here. And it just was an incredible moment watching him finally get to touch that trophy and just be in disbelief, smiling so hard.
Kyrie in Boston this postseason, 14.3 points per game, 17.6% from three, 34% from the floor, 39.3 true shooting percentage. Just a dog shit, like absolute utter. So Josh Green was better. You know what I mean? Josh Green sucks at basketball. That's how bad Kyrie was. And Al, hard not to be the happiest for. I mean, it's. I'm thrilled for fucking everyone. Hauser was awesome tonight. Al Horford, he hit that three to make it 9-2 and end the game, but also in the halftime, him getting that rebound, a man who famously does not get rebounds off missed free throws, typically dives out of the way in comical fashion. He gets that rebound, he turns, calmly finds Peyton Pritchard, who buries the longest shot in the finals this millennium.
That's what he fucking does. You put Peyton Pritchard in the game. He only played before garbage time. He only played 4 seconds, and he came in and knocked that shot. I thought it was a huge momentum shot. Like, I was like, we need to go in the half up 20. It was huge to push it up to 21. And, man, my brother texted me. He's like, he's going to own so many car dealerships around the Boston area for the next 40 years and be selling cars to all of the greater New England area. And I'm ready to buy Peyton Pritchard Toyota today. Like, I will get a Tacoma from Peyton Pritchard if he's got his name on it.
I just can't believe he did it. Like, when he subbed in, I heard the buzzer sound. I said, that's Pritchard's music. I didn't think he was actually going to hit it. Trae Young tweeted out that he called it. I think a lot of people were saying, get Pritchard the ball. The fact that he drained it and it was in Luka's eye. Luka, by the way, I didn't fully realize he was Ben Wallace from the free throw line. I think if he just hacked him the whole series, this is over in 4. Like, he was, if he takes those one-legged step backs, maybe he's a better free throw shooter. But that was jarring to watch over and over again.
He was just not as effective tonight. It felt like he just kept on trying to draw fouls, and it just wasn't working. The Celtics did a phenomenal job in the series of just staying down and not biting on his fouls. And clearly he was limited. He clearly did some stat padding at the end, as you mentioned. I just thought the Celtics, clearly they took their foot off the gas or did whatever in game 4. There's a lot of championship talk in the air, but I just like their approach. They came back and they were like, we're winning this basketball game. How many times were they the first to the floor tonight? How many times were they the one diving after the loose ball, making the hustle plays? Jaylen Brown picking up Luka Doncic for the 94 feet the entire game. I just thought the Celtics, whatever their approach was, they were locked in tonight and they just gave maximum effort. Despite having one of the worst third quarters I've ever seen, the Mavericks could make
the Celtics could only win this by having the most dog shit third quarter you've ever seen. I don't think they scored like the last 8 minutes or something like that. But to be fair, the Mavericks really didn't score either. And that was a testament to the Celtics defense. When Marcus Smart did get traded for Kristaps, the biggest criticism was, where is the Celtics toughness going to come from? Who's going to step up? Derek White breaking his face and then climbing the ladder to punch Lively at the rim. Jaylen Brown picking up 94 feet like you alluded to. Drew was the first guy to dive on the floor. Everybody.
Sam Hauser diving on the floor making defensive plays.
Everybody stepped up in terms of that intensity. And it sucks that Marcus isn't here, but he still is, because you can see.
Oh, sorry, we're cutting in and out here on the internet, Coley. It's time for you to vamp. Monologue.
I was going to say, you can still see the DNA of Marcus Smart permeating through this team, making winning plays, showing up, getting on the floor, guarding 1 through 5. Tatum, again, was guarding Gafford a lot, and he was switching out onto Luka a lot. Tatum was excellent. The finals MVP, and again, I can't end this, you understand. Like, it will just be me here ranting until Jam and the Garden can get internet back up. That is what will happen. The MVP stuff, it felt like it should have been split. I'm not upset that Jaylen Brown got it by any stretch. I think what he did defensively this whole series definitely earned that MVP. Tatum, those first 3 games, had 10 eyes on him every time he touched the ball. It wasn't just the scoring output today that should have put him in that conversation. He was tremendous all 5 games. Well, no one was tremendous game 4. All 4 wins, Tatum was tremendous. And if you can't see that, you're an idiot and don't know basketball whatsoever. I think they should have split it. I'm perfectly content with that picture of Tatum holding the Larry O'Brien and Jalen holding the Bill Russell. That's how it should be. And that's how it's going to be moving forward, by the way. We've been tweeting out hashtag Green18 for what seems like the entire, well, genuinely for the
Green
entire,
19. Green 19.
Right. It doesn't sound as clean, which means we just got to get to Green 20 faster. That's all that means.
They're the prohibitive favorite to win next year's NBA title. There's no reason why this team, constructed as it is, can't come back here and do the exact same thing. The only thing that is going to challenge them is that maybe they're satisfied, but I don't think Crazy Joe Mazzulla is going to let them be at all satisfied with what they've done here tonight. And I think they're putting your bet slips now for Celtics winning banner 19 in 2025, because this team is built for this year. It's built for next year. And shout out to Jason Tatum. He's about to get the richest contract in all of basketball. He's going to go win the gold medal for the U.S. in the Paris Olympics. And he gets so much criticism for just like what's seemingly just one of the nicer guys who has a phenomenal, just like extremely talented man. Someone was criticizing him for talking about being a father too much. He's been a tremendous father. He's Big Deuce. Like, I don't understand it. Everything is like so likable about Jason Tatum, and he was phenomenal tonight. I'm just glad he's finally kind of going to get his credit as one of the best players in the NBA.
Yeah, I'm thrilled for Tatum. I don't know if you've seen the Jordan commercial that aired the first commercial break after the trophy presentation, which clearly he had to have filmed that, within the last month before a title had even been won, which I always find the most fascinating part. Like, he's talking big shit. He said, you guys, what are you going to say now? Matter of fact, keep saying it. I don't give a fuck. Obviously, he didn't swear on the nationally televised commercial, but that was
he should have. He could have if he wanted to.
That was the gist of what he was getting at. It was great. I'm so happy for them. I'm so happy that they had to deal with so much shit genuinely for 6 years. People telling them they can't do exactly this. And by the way, Jim, you're talking about next year. The Celtics did all of this, genuinely all of this, without their starting 5. Like, they get Kristaps Porzingis back next year. And we always thought, all right, we've got this 3-year window with Kristaps. We just need him healthy for one of the runs. They didn't have him healthy for the first run. They won the championship. Like, I don't think people are going to really figure that out until it's too late next year. Hopefully he is healthy. He was out there tonight on the Perk 5000, couldn't feel his face, and he looked awful that first stretch. Joe kept going back to him. He looked fine the rest of the game. Like, the Mavs couldn't pick on him like they did when he first came in. He genuinely contributed a little bit tonight. PJ Washington tried to fight him for some reason. That was stupid. That was
threw him to the ground. Doris Burke did have a great line about that. Said that if that happened to Caitlin Clark, it would be a national conversation for a week. I didn't know Doris Burke had witty lines in that in her. I thought KP did not 5 points on the score sheet, but just him playing in the game keeps Al Horford fresh. It allows him to go to this double bigs lineup. He provides protection at the rim, and yes, he came out and was clearly sipping some lean or whatever out of his cup. They do this very, very cool WWE entrance for game 1 and 2. abandon it for Game 5 so he can just casually stroll out onto the court. And I just thought his presence was phenomenal. I have a question for you, Coley. What did you think about Joe taking out the Al and then Jalen and Jason and then White and Holiday at the end of the game, letting them have their kind of moment? Because I don't think that's the traditional championship move, but I expect the unexpected with Joe. A classic curveball.
Yeah, I mean, when you're up 1,000 and fucking Jaden Hardy's the only one who still thinks it's a game. It was beautiful. I like that he started with Al. Like, I think he got the order right too. He started with Al. The place went crazy. He took out the Jays together. That was beautiful. Tatum immediately in tears. That put me in tears. It was all beautiful. All of it was beautiful. Missoula was in complete control from the opening tip, Game 1. And to see him here, what is this, Game 101? Just beautiful. He start to finish. As this summer goes and next season previews start, you're going to start hearing a lot more Joe Mazzulla, Eric Spoelstra comparisons, and they're bad. They're bad comparisons already because Eric Spoelstra's never won a championship without LeBron James. Joe Mazzulla has. It's that simple.
And it's absolutely correct. And Joe Mazzulla, I think everyone, the Celtics, is going to be getting a lot more credit, as they should, when you win an NBA championship. That's why we play the games, folks. That's why we have Still Potable, so we can podcast about every single day. I know we talk about process over results. I've talked to Brad Stevens about this and the growth mindset and all that stuff. The process is all to get better, so you reach the eventual result of winning the NBA championship, of hanging banner 18, and the Celtics have done that. They're NBA championships in 2024. The McMahon, appreciate you for joining me here. Any last thoughts before we conclude this live stream? We did it, Joe. We did it.
I'm glad people hate it. I'm very happy how much displeasure this is bringing people. Very happy. I don't want anyone but Boston to appreciate this. Fuck you.
The entire NBA fucking hates the Celtics, and that's why they haven't gotten any respect for this entire run. People calling it a Mickey Mouse run, and like everyone in NBA media is sick of the Celtics being good, and they have to deal with the Celtics being NBA champions for a whole nother year. And they might be NBA champions again next year, but they are defending champions, Boston Celtics, for the rest until another team wins the championship. And the NBA media, NBA fans, NBA Twitter is all going to have to deal with it. And that makes me smile. Shout out to all the Celtics fans out there who had to endure all the kind of criticism of Jason Tatum, criticism of the Celtics haven't played enough people, all of that stuff. They won the championship. Banner 18 will be coming to the rafters right behind me some point next fall. Cue the duck boats. Get ready for the parade. Everyone should come on down to Boston. It's going to be some point this week and have a celebration.
Friday. I think I saw it's Friday.
Whoa, what a beautiful. That's kind of reckless. I don't know if that's right. With no consequences, everyone's just drinking, going to the weekend. That's awesome. That's fantastic. Appreciate you, McMahon, for joining us. Appreciate everyone who's tuned in on Still Potable, everyone who's subscribed to Still Potable, the kids, the gods, and the legends. Sean behind the computer. Jay King, B-Rob will be podcasting later tonight. Get their full reactions. But really appreciate you guys joining us here for Still Potable for the entire year. We'll be back tomorrow talking more Boston Celtics because they are NBA champions, raising banner 18. Sean, at some point, you got to press the fucking button. Let me out of this.
Still Potable, Still Potable, the Boston Still Potable, Still Potable.
Oh, yeah.
Slow down from eating and drinking and all that wild stuff.